Here's something no one told me about when I first started turning. That a carbide tool can ruin a blank in seconds if you don't know how to use it properly. And that's money down the drain and time wasted. Carbide tools come in a number of different varieties. Square cutters, round cutters, diamond cutters, and negative rake cutters. To a beginner, these all look almost identical, but they do not do the same thing. Hi, I'm Barry Gross. I've been turning pens for over 40 years, and I'm going to show you the difference between all these carbide tools. So let's get started. Before we start talking tools, I want to say something. I can honestly say in 40 years, I've never had anyone pick up a pen of mine when they were going to purchase it and say, "Hey, what kind of tool did you use on this? Did you use a carbide tool? High-speed steel? What did you use?" Never once has anyone asked me that. They just look at the pen and say, "Wow, that's really nice." In the pen turning forums, you're going to see people scream about, "You've got to use this tool, you've got to use that tool." Don't get stuck in that. All you need to do is figure out which tool works best for you. For most beginners, carbide tools are going to be the best answer. Here's why, and here's how to choose the right one. Before carbide tools, the first thing you had to learn wasn't how to turn the pen, it was how to sharpen your turning tool. Using a grinder and a sharpening jig to get the right angle before you even touch the blank. Carbide changed that. When the edge gets dull, you just loosen one screw, rotate to a fresh edge, and then get back to turning. No grinder, no jig, no setup. That's why carbide has become a standard starting point for pen turners. There are different types of carbide tools, and we'll explain what each one does. A square cutter can round over your tool quickly. It can remove excess material fast, and it can rough shape a barrel before you refine it. That's what your square cutter can do. One thing most beginners don't realize, the corner of this insert makes crisp, clean transitions right where the barrel meets the bushing. That's not a roughing move, that's a finishing move. Same tool, different part of the edge. The round carbide cutter is built for curves because the cutting edge goes all the way around the insert. It rides with the shape of the wood instead of fighting it. Try to put a flowing taper on a cigar pen with a square cutter and you'll feel resistance. Put a round cutter on the same profile and it follows the line perfectly. The trade-off, the round cutter removes material more slowly. It can create sharp transitions. There are no corners on that insert. So the way I think about it, the square cutter gets your blank to size, the round cutter makes it beautiful. The two-tool combination handles about 80% of everything you'll turn. The diamond cutter. The poor little diamond cutter. It doesn't get much attention at all. And honestly, it deserves that. But when you need it, nothing else does what it does. That pointed little tip lets you work in spots where the square and the round cutter simply can't fit. Tight transitions, subtle refinements, small details right next to a bushing. Think of it as your detail tool, not for removing material, but for perfecting what's already there. Most beginners can wait on this one tool until they find themselves wishing they could get into a tighter space. When that moment comes, you'll know and you'll use it. Another use for this diamond cutter is for rounding over acrylics. The reason we use this is the golden rule with acrylics is sharp tools and light bites. This has a very sharp edge, and since it's got a very tiny point, it's going to take a very small bite. Therefore, it works really well to take this down because you're taking light bites. However, regular carbide tools like these, the square and the round, they shouldn't be used on acrylics because they are too aggressive. And this is what can happen when we use them. The main reason why this blew up is twofold. I put too much pressure going in, I didn't take a light bite, and also this has a very sharp edge. So when the piece came around, it hit this edge and it tore it up. So for turning acrylics, I recommend using a negative rake tool. One other thing I wanted to discuss briefly was the difference between a carbide tool and a negative rake carbide tool. The carbide cutter has a really sharp edge on it, and as the piece comes around and hits this edge, it can tear it up easily. With the negative rake, the edge is sloped down, so as the piece comes around and hits this, it gives it a nice smooth transition all the way across. I've seen people blame themselves for ruining a blank when really it was the tool that they used. If you plan to turn acrylics at all, and most Penn turners do, a negative rake isn't an upgrade, it's an absolute necessity. One more thing, negative rake comes in a round cutter, 4-sided or 6-sided radiused edge. 4 is what most people reach for. However, 6 gives you more edges, and it really works a lot better on brittle material such as acryluster, rhino, and mica pearl blanks. Negative rake cutters help reduce blowouts and chatter you'd otherwise get with a regular carbide cutter. So here's the straight answer. If you're just getting into pen turning and you're concerned about your sharpening, don't worry about that. Carbide tools are definitely the way to go. The square one is for shaping. The round one is for curves. The diamond is for detailing. And the negative rake is for both acrylic and wood. So before we wrap up, there's a few more things I just want to show you. Carbide cutters work best when you barely feel them touching the blank. The lathe is doing your work. Your job is to guide the tool. Multiple light passes will always beat one aggressive pass. On wood, it means a rougher surface. On acrylic, it can mean a ruined blank. Slow is smooth, smooth is good. Set the tool rest at or below center of your blank. And when you place your tool on the tool rest, make sure it's parallel to the floor. The best carbide tool isn't the most expensive one. It's the one that gets the job done. Nobody picks up a pen like this and says, "Hey, what tool did you use to make this?" They don't do that. They want to hold it, they want to write with it, and hopefully they want to buy it. So tell me in the comments, which carbide tool did you use first, and which one do you still use today? So until the next time, remember, happy turning.